let's go upgrade the brakes. It's a bit cold. It's not been started for a month. Time to upgrade the brakes.
We're gonna get stronger. I gotta reach higher. I wanna burn like a fire. We gotta move faster. You can't tame this energy inside.
So what have we got? This is a brake upgrade basically for my Kawasaki ZX10R. Is a 2005 model. It's the C1 model, the first gen, which ran from 2004 to 2005. The reason for my upgrade is basically the brake calipers that are on there is standard. They're the standard brake calipers, and they're recognised for being a bit poor braking strength wise, and I've been running with the standard setup now for like years, and the last ride in the salty weather had basically seized the calipers up. Now I've had these original brake calipers apart a few times and serviced them with some new rubbers. Not new rubbers, sorry, just basically servicing them, taking them apart and stripping them down, rebuilding them. But really they could do with new rubbers and new pistons, and to be honest, the power of these calipers just aren't that great. They're very pitted. I'll give you a closer look at them when I get them off. But the last ride, and as you can see, they bind it on, so I'm going to need to clean the discs up as well. Very nasty basically, but yeah. So instead of servicing the original calipers, I've gone with an upgrade. These brake calipers come off of a 2007 to 2008 ZX6 and ZX14, and they're much more powerful, and these are in excellent condition. They're a little bit marked up, so I've got a bit of caliper paint. Yeah, I went with this. I got it from work. Basically, didn't cost me much. Black caliper paint. I prefer to use spray really than a paint, so I'm not sure from a finish standpoint a spray would be better. I did think about using some of this, but I think that just might be a little bit too much of a thin coat. So and I want to put a nice protective coat on it, so I've gone with a paint. So let's hope the paint works nicely. What do you need basically for doing this upgrade? Well, these calipers have standard brake lines. The original setup I've got here also has the standard brake lines, so I've gone for some braided brake lines. These I've got from Bike Torque Racing. Very good price for full kit, front and rear. I can't remember what that price was, so I'll put that up here. Alright, that's how much they were. And it's got one rear and two fronts. And yeah, one is slightly kind of shorter than the other, so I'll need to suss that out. I'm guessing the longer one is for the left hand side, but I'll double check. And in the kit as well, you get all new washers in there, and obviously the bolts there as well. So that's the kit, so that will help a lot. Obviously you need some brake fluid as well, which I've got some over here, and I've also upgraded the master cylinder, the front brake master cylinder. This master cylinder is a Brembo master cylinder. Can you see that? And this particular one is off a Yamaha R1, a 2012 model. Nice snazzy adjuster there on the top. It's a nice sporty look and feel to it. Looks like an original, complete, expensive Brembo master cylinder. I paid £80 for that on eBay. Not bad when you look at the prices. Things that you'll need to change is the switch underneath. Can you see that okay? With this switch I've already checked, and I can take the one off of my original brake master cylinder and swap it for this one. So that is superb. So it's a complete swap over. You've got to be a little bit careful on the adjustment of where you have this sat, which I'll show you when I actually put it on. But I've had a quick check, and it does clear. It is a fair bit of a longer kind of cylinder on this one in comparison to the original, the standard one. I will get the standard one off. I'll strip down the standard system and then compare for you to see the difference. Yeah, so, and I've also bought a rear brake caliper. All these calipers I bought from Texas in America. I'm in old sunny Somerset here, and in the UK, and it was the best price I could find on the calipers, and the pads are good. They're not contaminated with any brake fluid, so which usually is a problem. But these pads are like new, and you see how good they are. And I'll pop those out in a second. We can have a look at those. But they, for first appearance, nothing appears to be contaminated with brake fluid, which is an issue. You don't really want to be getting brake fluid all over your pads. They will kind of ruin them. If needs be, I will replace the pads. But they're looking pretty good at the moment on the first visual. As you can see, they're a little bit marked up, these calipers. So I'm going to basically clean these up. Oh, and as also you can see here, this was off a 08 ZX6 or 636 or the ZX10R. These calipers are exactly the same on the ZX14 and the 6R. So my mistake, these actually did come off the 6R, sorry, but they're exactly the same as the 1400s. Quite surprising really, when you think the difference in the type of bike that is, the 14 and the 600. But yeah, they use the same calipers, the same spec. So yeah, it's hopefully going to give me some good braking power. Right, we have a little bit of a leakage here. Ooh, some brake fluid. I've just loosened these off. I loosened everything off. I got all my spanners out and my Allen keys. I'm going to quickly whip out the pads because I don't want them getting covered in brake fluid, and then I'm going to start cleaning them up. So let's get the pads out. Stop talking about it. Let's get on with it, Grizz.
Yeah, come on, Grizz, get on with it. You're so slow, so very slow.
So what I will do is I'll clean these up with a little bit of a light going over with a bit of sandpaper. Put a little bit of copper grease on there, just a tiny bit. Don't use too much copper grease when you're doing this. A lot of people use them on the brakes. It's good to use, but I see so many times like way too much copper grease. So just to use a little bit if you're going to use some, yeah. And again, let's get this one out, the next pin. And as you loosen these off, basically the pads drop down. So pull out the pin, and out comes this one. Again, no corrosion. Oops, let's put that in shot. No corrosion, just a little bit of grease and dirt and grime, but a very clean, very good condition. Sorry, put it in shot for you. So that is one side out. You got your little brass springs. Are they brass? I don't know actually, to be honest. But yeah, your little springs that kind of keep the pressure on the pad and keep them in place. Let's get those out. Let's have a look at them. What do they look like? What's this? Some kind of spider webbage on this one. But actually they're very clean. It's gone and dead. I will put a little bit of brake cleaner on those and clean them off, but they're certainly very good condition. Have we got a name of a make at all on here? Let's have a look. Yeah, I came home and picked up taffy as well. Ah, so they're originals. Yeah, they're Nissan brake pads. Can you see that? Just. Yeah, so they're original brake pads. So they look like they've had hardly any use. These look like new. So I'm going to clean these up and I'm going to reuse them. I'm going to see how we go with them. these original pads, and if they don't really provide much braking power, I'll change them for an upgrade. But who knows, maybe they'll be good. Certainly loads of life left on them. So that's one set out. Let's get the other set out as well.
Oh god, we ain't gonna watch him do the other side now. He's gonna go on. Oh, let's go put the kettle on.
Second one, those pins are very good again. Nice and clean, no corrosion. Superb. I love Texas for the parts, the second-hand parts. Condition's very good. Must be very non-corrosive type of environment. Right, so now I've got some brake fluid on my hands on this glove, so I'm not going to handle these pads with those. Again, the pads are very good, and I will reuse those. I'm not going to put new pads in unless I have to. So yeah, I will clean those up and those will get reused. So let's have a look inside the actual caliper itself. It's all looking good. No signs of corrosion. Very happy with that. Yeah, they're looking good. Can you see? Ish. Right. So let's get these off.
You deserve a medal if you're still watching. Does he even know what he's doing? Oh god, this is painful to watch. So very, very painful. Thank you for your patience.
So that's that one off. And this one off. Alright, that's that off. So this is where you want a coffee jar. And I always save me coffee jars because you're always going to need them. This one is just like, doesn't matter if I got dirty stuff in it or not. What we could do is just empty out any fluid in there. Get rid of any residual.
Okay, that concludes part 1. In part 2, Taffy joins me in the garage and basically gets me drunk whilst I start to paint the brake calipers with disastrous consequences. Thanks for watching and please join us for part 2. Cheers!
Oh, it's better when you saw the Fireblade on that.
Yeah, and the Fireblade went, it was sad, wasn't it? Oh god, oh my god, oh no, she's spillage.
It went over the bike.
Spillage over the bike. No, Maya, right, you? What about the bike?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, jeez.